One of the world's biggest cryptocurrency exchanges collapses.
FTX.
Cryptocurrency exchange FTX filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
You've heard the headlines. Someone turns $8,000 into millions thanks to a meme coin, Shiba Inu, Dogecoin, whatever's hot. But the real winner? He didn't chase the coins. He built the platform they traded on and took a cut every time someone hit buy. His name? Sam Bankman-Fried, the hoodie-wearing founder of FTX. He played video games during investor meetings.
If you watch the clip, you can see his eyes going back and forth, back and forth. This is because he's trying to win his video game at the same time he's on the air.
And somehow convinced the world he was the next Warren Buffett. But behind the chill persona was a company that, according to prosecutors, misused billions in customer funds. Let's rewind the hype and unpack what really happened. Sam Bankman-Fried was born in 1992 in Stanford, California. Both of his parents were law professors at Stanford University. He grew up surrounded by academics, ethics, and complexity. As a kid, he reportedly loved Harry Potter and watching the San Francisco Giants. Later, he developed an interest in ethics, especially effective altruism, a movement focused on using money to do the most measurable good. He studied physics at MIT, one of the most competitive programs in the country. In past interviews, Sam has said he half-assed his way through it, spending more time on video games than lectures. Originally, he considered becoming a professor, but ethics, money, and opportunity pulled him in a different direction. You might picture billion-dollar companies forming in boardrooms, suits, investors, carefully structured org charts. That wasn't this. In 2017, Sam Bankman-Fried launched Alameda Research, a crypto trading firm. It began in a shared apartment in Berkeley, California, with a handful of recent grads. There was no CFO, no traditional oversight, just caffeine, spreadsheets, and market bets. Sam was the figurehead, but many of the team were friends or housemates. By the time FTX launched in 2019, the personal and professional lines were already blurred. FTX was initially funded with profits from Alameda. Both entities shared leadership, and according to bankruptcy filings, their finances were deeply intertwined. FTX was built for speed, fast onboarding, fast trades. To avoid US regulation, Sam based operations in Hong Kong. Later, FTX moved to the Bahamas, where regulations were lighter. In 2022, the company broke ground on a planned $60 million headquarters in Nassau. But inside, it was still far from traditional. According to court documents, FTX lacked standard financial controls, and decisions were often made informally. Public reporting suggested that some members of FTX and Alameda leadership shared a luxury penthouse in the Bahamas. There were also widespread media claims of personal relationships among executives, including between Sam and Caroline Ellison, then CEO of Alameda. These claims have not been denied publicly. This wasn't a Wall Street firm. It was closer to a crypto commune, and the people in charge didn't answer to anyone until it all unraveled. Sam Bankman-Fried wasn't a crypto idealist. He didn't champion decentralization or freedom from traditional banks. In interviews, he openly admitted he wasn't in it for the mission. He was in it for the inefficiencies. And what caught his eye was volatility, price swings, momentum, chaos. So when he launched FTX, it wasn't for the average investor. It was for traders, people who wanted speed, leverage, and action. FTX's core product? Crypto derivatives, futures, options, and margin trading. These tools let users speculate on crypto prices without owning any actual coins. And with up to 20 times leverage, traders could control $20,000 in Bitcoin with just $1,000. FTX said it was designed for experienced professionals. But public reports suggest many users were inexperienced traders chasing big wins. The platform's design and marketing made risk easy to access and easy to underestimate. Despite offering extremely low fees, around 0.02%, the exchange made millions daily from volume alone. In 2021, FTX reported $1.02 billion in revenue, a 1,000% jump from 2020. They projected $1.1 billion for 2022. By late 2022, FTX claimed to process $11.5 billion in daily trades, more than double the volume of Coinbase, with far fewer users. A major part of this machine was the FTT token. FTX created it, promoted it, and used it to raise capital, offer discounts, and even buy back Binance's $2 billion stake. Critics later argued FTT wasn't just a utility token. It was a tool of financial leverage, one that helped prop up an empire of confidence. The unraveling began not with a hack or a lawsuit, but a spreadsheet. On November 2, 2022, CoinDesk published what it described as a leaked balance sheet from Alameda Research. It showed that a huge portion of Alameda's assets were in FTT, the token created by its sister company, FTX. This raised serious questions about the firm's liquidity and independence. The reaction was swift. Changpeng Zhao, CZ, CEO of Binance, and a former investor in FTX, announced on Twitter that Binance would liquidate its 580 million FTT holdings. This triggered a steep drop in the token's price. Within days, FTT plunged over 80%. Customers rushed to withdraw funds from FTX. According to Reuters, over $6 billion was pulled out in a 72-hour window. FTX couldn't keep up. On November 11, 2022, it filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in the US. That's when court filings revealed something far worse: an estimated $8 billion shortfall in customer assets. FTX had allegedly allowed Alameda to access user deposits without proper disclosure or permission. John Ray III, who replaced Sam as CEO, told Congress, "This is just old-fashioned embezzlement, not sophisticated at all." Following the bankruptcy, key insiders, Caroline Ellison and Gary Wang, pled guilty to federal fraud charges and began cooperating with investigators. FTX's collapse wasn't caused by a market dip. According to prosecutors and regulators, it was caused by decisions made at the top, hidden behind jargon, tokens, and spreadsheets. Sam Bankman-Fried often described himself as an altruist. He said he didn't care about money, just the good it could do. He promoted effective altruism, the idea that you should earn as much as possible to give as much as possible. But when FTX collapsed, prosecutors began to question how that philosophy played out in practice. Between 2020 and 2022, Sam donated more than $25 million to U.S. political campaigns. That included $5.2 million to Joe Biden's presidential campaign, making him the second largest individual donor behind Michael Bloomberg. While some framed it as civic engagement, the Department of Justice offered a different perspective. In August 2023, U.S. prosecutors alleged that more than $100 million in political donations were made using misappropriated FTX customer funds. They claimed it was part of a broader scheme to influence regulatory outcomes. Sam has pleaded not guilty to some of these charges and denies criminal intent. However, he was convicted on multiple fraud counts related to customer asset misuse in late 2023. Another example, his 7.6% stake in Robinhood, worth around $648 million, was seized by U.S. authorities. According to court documents, it had been purchased using borrowed funds that originated from FTX customer assets. In March 2024, Sam was sentenced to 25 years in prison and ordered to forfeit $11 billion in assets. The judge described his actions as a betrayal of enormous magnitude. So did Sam fail as an altruist, or was the altruism just branding? That answer may depend on where the money really went and who's left to recover it. So what's the takeaway? Sam Bankman-Fried wasn't the next Warren Buffett. He was the first Sam Bankman-Fried. He branded himself as an altruist, built a high-speed trading empire, and created a token that, according to regulators, helped prop it all up. He impressed investors, influenced politicians, and won over the media. But when the illusion broke, it led to billions in losses and a historic fraud conviction. Prosecutors say it was deception. Critics say it was ego. Supporters say it started with good intentions. Whatever the truth, it's no longer his to shape. Drop a comment. What shocked you the most? Like this video if $26 billion in a beanbag still blows your mind. And subscribe for more hard money truths.